Something that comes to my attention every single day is the culture around the world is dying, slowly but steady. Is it a good thing or a bad thing that stuff is dying? It's a little bit of a combination of good and bad, I think, because what I think is happening is my generation and everything under that, like culture stuff, is dying, and I see it every day traveling around here. But it's not just here in Asia it happens, it's all around the world, thanks to the internet, which makes this small globe even smaller. So you can sit in Denmark, Copenhagen, and talk live with people in Tokyo with almost no latency, which is amazing to bring people together like that. And this is not an endorsement to start smoking at all. At all, you should not start smoking. And I quit many years ago, very happy about it. But back when I was a sound engineer, I used to smoke. And one of my favorite things about smoking was when I was working with people from around the world, which I primarily did, going one-on-one outside, have a smoke, and then talk. Like it's the talk. And you realize everything culture with attitudes and all that, if you have people one-on-one like that, in that kind of situation, we are all the same. We are all the same. I don't care where in the world you're from, we are all the same. And I'm so grateful to, from a very young age, have this international mindset. Almost 20 years ago, I started to work with people from around the world. And that was way before, like, anything. Like, it was back when it was MySpace. And seeing people are the same kind of people, no matter what skin color, no matter what kind of background we are talking, it's just like so given to my perspective of the world. They say when astronauts go to space, when they come back, they have a completely different view on the planet. Because from outer space, it's just one big globe, like borders and all that stuff. It's human-made. It's like human that said, this is my area, don't go here, don't go here. And when you have this international mindset, it doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all. Same with passports, right? My passport, and I'm so grateful and lucky to have a very powerful passport that I can go anywhere almost. But for people here in Thailand, and I met a lot of people here, especially with this new era of the internet, that's just like me, completely just like me. But because the passport is not that powerful, they can't go anywhere. And then we divide it into these different kinds of categories because we are born in a specific spot and not who we are. And that is like the opposite of a global, international mindset. And that annoys me a lot, but it's probably gonna be like that forever, or at least as long as I'm here. Let's get back on track. The whole situation about the culture is dying because of the internet, because we look at the same stuff on TikTok or whatever platform you're using, YouTube. Same with the education system. Do you really need, unless you're gonna become a doctor or something like that, do you need to go to a school to educate? If you ask me, not at all, not at all. In this day and age, you can look everything up. You can learn everything online. Everything I learned in my entire adult life has not been through schools. It's been through people, and then the last few years, like through the internet. How a camera works, I found out via the internet. So all of that stuff is so amazing. And this thing about you can educate yourself no matter where you are. And I've been to some poorer countries here in Asia, and everybody have a phone with internet on, which means everybody can study whatever they want, almost. And that's amazing. So if you are in a place in the world with internet. I know there's a lot of people that don't have access to the internet. I know it. So you don't have to tell me. I know. But a lot of places have, and that's amazing. And at some point, everybody will be online. And this connectivity we have with each other, learning about each other, learning that some girl in Laos have the same values as me, as a guy from Denmark. That's amazing. How, like, other than going there and talk and meet with these people, that's the only way I used to be able to do it. Nowadays, I can actually go there and then, without going there, that was what I was trying to say, and learn about that we are all the same. We are all human beings. Everybody is the same. I think that's amazing. What is a little bit sad about that is all of the culture stuff is dying. I said that 3 times now, and I'm going to explain what I actually mean by that. So my generation and lower, let's start in Denmark. So I'm from the southern part of Jutland. And in that part, there is like their own language. It's a very heavy dialect of Danish. And I would say in many ways it's its own language because there are a lot of words that's not used in the Danish one. So it's not just like, it's like a southern kind of twang to the language. And my generation is the last one to speak it. I have a younger brother, 5 years younger than me. He don't speak it. And then, of course, his kids doesn't speak it. They all speak Danish. And I know with my generation, when I'm gone, it's probably completely gone. And there's something you will read in the history books. Some very nice local guy with a heritage from India that lived in the US for 6 years just started talking to me. Very friendly guy. He said, I don't want to disturb you. And I said, it's okay, I love talking to people. I completely forgot where we were. I completely forgot where I was. We were talking about the language. End of the day of that language thing is that heritage culture thing about that language is dead, like almost. And it's a shame, but I'd rather have stuff like that dying and then the international mindset being into people, because the only way we can stop people hating each other and wars is to let everybody know that your neighbor is exactly like you, have the same problems as you. Everything is the same. I know some people have less problems in their lives and some have a lot. And this is not a matter of surviving or not surviving. And I was about to go like a very spiritual route because people that have it way too easy on a spiritual level is like very much behind. So it's kind of like your soul, the more shit you have to go through, the more developed your soul are. So it's kind of the opposite on earth here. So if you're very successful here, then your soul is like very underdeveloped in that sense. Like the harder and tougher your life is and you manage to push through it, the more your soul is kind of developed. Completely different talk. We're not going to go too deep into that right now, at least. I would love to talk about it one day. And again, develop. Like we are all in different levels. We can't compare each other like that one to one. What I'm trying to say with all of this bullshit is super happy that we get to have this international mindset more and more, and hopefully one day we will all just be one big family. I know there's a long way to go. Maybe in 500 years, 1,000 years or something like that, we will be there. I think I should rename my channel to Mikkel Sidetracks or something like that. Oh, they're filming a TV show here. It's very staged. It's like very staged. They do retakes and all that. And that's again like, I'm fine with what they're doing. I don't understand it personally. But maybe if I watch more of it at some point, I would be able to understand why they're doing what they're doing. Anyways, every morning I've been sitting here looking at people, looking at all the street kitchens and all of that. Very much Bangkok. I know there's street foods all around the world. It's really something special here in Bangkok. Really, really something special. And people selling stuff on the street. It's incredible, and I hope that will never disappear. And fingers crossed, because nothing is forever, that it never will disappear. And for this Bangkok heritage, I'm pretty sure that that is one of the last things to disappear. Like all of the power lines up here, they're starting to putting on the ground, which is for a safety aspect amazing, but it just gives this amazing vibe to the city to have all of that hanging there. That's when I start talking, right, about stuff. My plan was to make this video mainly about Bangkok and the city here. But again, it's all about the international mindsets of it. And sitting here watching these people in the everyday life. When you come from Europe, USA, the Western world, and you walk around here, what you see seems very exotic sometimes. But when you've been here for a while, or you're sitting here watching the same people do the same thing over and over and over and over again, you just realize that this is their reality, this is their everyday life. There's nothing exotic about it for them. But for us as Western people, it's very exotic to see some of these street food kitchens sometimes, which is so amazing. So to conclude all of this, and the topic is so much longer than it actually is. The culture is dying around the world, but not here in Bangkok. At least not this stuff. And one thing I really learned about traveling around Asia for 10 months is the Western world have their head far up where the sun never shines. I think that was the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.